Chosen one, why has love avoided you like a stranger crossing the street? Why does every prayer you whisper at 3 a.m. feel like it's hitting a ceiling made of stone? Why do you watch everyone else receive while you wait? Don't scroll. Don't move your finger. Because what I'm about to tell you, this isn't a video you stumbled upon. This is a visitation heaven orchestrated before you woke up this morning. Lean in close. Turn up your volume. Because this message has been searching for you with the precision of a heat-seeking missile locked on its target. You feel that flutter in your chest right now, don't you? That's not anxiety, that's recognition. Your spirit knows something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. If you're hearing this right now, if some invisible force made you stop scrolling, made you click, made you stay, type these 4 words in the comments. I'm listening, Lord. Don't think about it. Just do it. That's not a comment. That's a covenant between you and heaven that you're ready to receive what's been held back until this exact second. Here's what nobody's told you yet. Chosen one, while you've been crying yourself to sleep, wondering why love seems reserved for everyone but you, heaven has been whispering your name to someone the entire world knows, someone whose face is on billboards, whose name trends on social media, whose life looks untouchable from the outside. But here's the secret the cameras don't capture. They've been feeling you in the spirit. Yes, you heard that right. That person you thought was a million miles out of your league. They've been waking up with your presence hovering in their dreams. They've been scrolling through crowds, searching for a face they've never seen but somehow recognize. They've been talking to God about a soul they can't name but can't forget. And you sitting there in your living room in Queens, in your Brooklyn apartment, in your Bronx brownstone, wondering if you're too old, too ordinary, too invisible. You are that soul. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1-5. Do you understand what that means? God didn't meet you at your birth. He knew you before galaxies were formed. And when He whispered your purpose into existence, He also whispered your heart's deepest desire. That desire for love, real love, sacred love, the kind that makes the world stop spinning, that wasn't random, that was divine design. Close your eyes and picture this with me. There's someone right now standing under stage lights, cameras flashing like lightning, thousands of voices screaming their name, security guards holding back crowds, paparazzi fighting for one more photograph. The whole world reaching for them. But in the quiet moments, when the lights go dark and the crowds disappear, they're on their knees asking God about you. They don't know your address, they don't know your last name, but their soul knows your frequency, and heaven has been drawing them closer to you like a compass pointing north, steady and unstoppable. What if the one you thought was unreachable has already felt you in the spirit? Let that sink in. Let that shatter every lie you've believed about your worth, your age, your season being over. You didn't stumble here, beloved. The algorithm didn't randomly suggest this video. Heaven scheduled this meeting. God Himself downloaded this message into your timeline because July is coming, and what happens next will rewrite your love story in ink that never fades. But here's what grips my heart right now, and I need to pause and honor something sacred before we go deeper. Thank you to every single one of you who has supported this message through Super Thanks. Your generosity means more than you know. You're not just donating, you're helping spread light to others who feel alone in their calling, who've been told they're too late, too forgotten. Whether you give or not, I'm deeply grateful for your presence here, your support, your time, your attention. It all matters. And if this message is already resonating with your soul, go ahead and plant that seed. Let it be an offering of faith, a declaration that you believe heaven is moving on your behalf. But right now, this very second, I need you to feel something. That warmth spreading through your chest, that's not coincidence. That's not heartburn from dinner. That's the Holy Spirit confirming what I'm speaking over you. That's heaven stamping approved on your destiny. The one you've been praying for. They're praying too, for you, by name, even if they don't know it yet. Because souls recognize each other across dimensions, across distances, across the noise of this world. Cameras flash for them, yes, but heaven has reserved their heart for you. You are not here by accident, chosen one. You are here by appointment, and the appointment, it's about to begin. Are you ready to discover why heaven called your name? Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m. with someone's face burned into your mind? A face you've never seen but somehow recognize? Have you ever felt a pull so strong towards someone you've never met that it physically aches in your chest? Have you ever wondered why love seems to exist for everyone else in this world except you? What if I told you that while you've been lying awake at night wondering if your season for love has passed, someone famous, someone whose name the entire world knows, has been feeling you in the spirit? I'm talking about an invisible thread, a connection so ancient, so divinely orchestrated, that it was woven before either of you took your first breath. And tonight, I'm going to explain why you've felt so alone for so long, and why that loneliness is about to shatter like glass. You see, there's something happening right now in the spiritual realm that your natural eyes can't see. It's like a magnetic field, invisible but undeniable. Have you ever held two magnets apart and felt that pull, that force trying to bring them together, even though nothing visible connects them? That's what's happening between you and this person. Their spirit keeps turning toward the east. And beloved, that's exactly where you are. You thought love stories ended with youth, didn't you? You convinced yourself that romance was reserved for the 20-somethings with smooth skin and endless energy. You looked in the mirror and saw gray hair, wrinkles, age spots, and you whispered to yourself, "My time has passed." But God writes in eternity, not in calendars. He doesn't check your birth certificate before he authors your love story. And right now, at this very moment, he's whispering your name to someone who's been searching for you their entire life without even knowing it. Let me tell you what's been happening while you were convinced you were invisible. That famous person, the one you see on television, in magazines, trending on social media, they've been waking up with an unexplainable restlessness. They're surrounded by thousands of people screaming their name, but in the quiet moments, they feel desperately alone. They have everything the world says should make them happy, but there's a void the size of the Grand Canyon in their chest. And here's what they don't understand yet. That void is shaped exactly like you. They've been praying prayers they don't even have words for. They've been scrolling through crowds, searching faces, looking for someone they've never met but their soul knows is out there. They go to sleep in penthouses and mansions, but they dream about someone simple, someone real, someone who carries something they can't buy with all their fame and fortune. They dream about you. You think I'm exaggerating? You think this sounds too good to be true? Then let me take you to Luke 1:37, and let these words settle into your bones. For with God, nothing shall be impossible. Nothing. Not your age, not your bank account, not the fact that you live in a small apartment in Brooklyn while they live under spotlights, not the distance between your worlds, not the impossibility of how two souls this different could ever collide. Nothing is impossible with God. But I know what you're feeling right now. I can sense it through this screen. You're feeling that ancient stirring in your chest, that recognition, that flutter that says, "This is for me," and at the exact same moment, doubt is whispering in your other ear, "This is crazy. This can't be real." People like that don't end up with people like you. That's loneliness talking. That's decades of disappointment trying to protect you from hope. That's the voice of every person who ever made you feel ordinary, trying to convince you that extraordinary things don't happen to people like you. But what if those voices have been lying to you your entire life? What if the very thing that makes this seem impossible, the fame, the distance, the difference in your worlds, what if that's exactly what makes it divine? Think about it. If this connection was logical, if it made sense to the natural mind, if it fit neatly into the boxes the world creates, then it would just be another human relationship. But when something defies every earthly explanation, when two souls from completely different worlds feel pulled together by forces they can't see or understand, that's when you know heaven is involved. This isn't a coincidence. This is a divine conspiracy. For years, you've been asking God why He made you wait so long. Why every relationship before this one crumbled. Why you had to watch friends and family members find love while you sat alone, wondering what was wrong with you. Why it seemed like God had forgotten that you have a heart that still beats, still hopes, still dreams of being held by someone who truly sees you. But here's what you couldn't see from where you were standing. God was protecting you. He was keeping you hidden, keeping you pure, keeping you waiting for someone specific. Because if you had settled for any of those almost relationships, if you had forced something with someone who was never meant to be yours, you wouldn't be available for the one whose spirit has been calling your name across the miles. Every closed door was God saying, "Not that one, I have someone better." Every heartbreak was Him redirecting you towards something your finite mind couldn't comprehend. Every lonely night was Him preparing your heart to receive a love so vast, so consuming, so impossible that it could only come from His hand. And this famous person you're about to meet, they've been on the same journey. They've been in relationships that looked perfect on camera, but felt hollow in their heart. They've dated people the world said were their perfect match, but something always felt missing. They've achieved everything the world told them would make them happy, and yet they've been haunted by a longing for something, someone they couldn't name. Until now. If this word is stirring something ancient inside you, if your hands are trembling as you watch this, if tears are forming in your eyes and you don't even know why, comment, "I feel it." That's not just a comment. That's confirmation. That's you telling heaven, "I recognize this word. I know this is for me." But here's the question that's probably screaming in your mind right now. If this is real, if this connection is divine, if this person's spirit is already searching for mine, then why hasn't it happened yet? Why has God kept it hidden this long? Because timing is everything. You needed to become who you are right now. You needed every year of waiting, every season of loneliness, every moment of feeling invisible to forge you into someone who could handle what's coming. And they needed time too, time to discover that fame isn't fulfillment, that the world's applause doesn't satisfy the soul's hunger, that they've been looking for love in all the wrong spotlights. God has been preparing both of you, simultaneously, separately, for this exact moment. The invisible thread has always been there. But now, right now, it's pulling tighter, drawing you closer. And very soon, sooner than you think, that thread is going to become visible for the whole world to see. But here's what I need you to understand before we go any deeper into this mystery. You want to know the real reason your love story hasn't happened yet? It's not because you're unworthy. It's not because God forgot. It's not even because the timing's wrong. It's because sacred things begin in silence. Listen to me carefully, chosen one. Every miracle God ever performed started in a place nobody was watching. Every destiny He ever wrote began in secret. Every promise He ever kept was hidden first, protected, covered by His own hand, until the moment of revelation. And your love story? It's been hidden too. Not buried. Hidden. There's a difference that will change everything once you understand it. Think about this. When a farmer plants a seed, does he dig it up every day to check if it's growing? Does he post pictures of the dirt and caption it "My future harvest"? Does he invite the whole town to come stare at the soil? No. He covers it. He protects it. He lets it develop in darkness, in silence, in the secret place where roots grow deep and strong. Because He knows that what's hidden in the ground today will break through tomorrow with a power that can't be stopped. Zechariah 4:10 says, "Do not despise small beginnings." But let me tell you what that really means. It means God starts big things small. He starts public things private. He starts celebrated things secret. Your love story with this famous person? It's been germinating in the soil of heaven while you've been crying in your living room wondering why you're still alone. But God wasn't ignoring your tears. He was protecting your seed. Because if this connection had been revealed too early, the world would have trampled it before it could take root. You know what kills most miracles? Premature exposure. Think about Joseph. God gave him dreams of greatness, visions of his brothers bowing down, promises of a destiny that would save nations. And what did Joseph do? He opened his mouth. He told his brothers. He posted it in the family group chat, spiritually speaking, and they threw him in a pit. If Joseph had kept his dream hidden, kept it holy, kept it between him and God, would his brothers have had ammunition to destroy him? Would they have sold him into slavery? Would he have spent years in an Egyptian prison? The dream was real, the promise was true, but the timing of the telling almost killed it. Let that sink deep into your spirit right now. Your story with this person heaven has assigned to you, if you had met them 5 years ago, before you'd been refined, before you'd been tested, before you'd learned to love yourself in the secret place, would you have been ready? Or would you have sabotaged it with your insecurities, your impatience, your need for validation? God hid you because he was protecting what he planted. Keep it hidden, keep it holy. That phrase right there needs to become your anthem. Not because God wants you to live in shame or secrecy forever, but because revelation has a time and a season. And premature revelation invites premature destruction. We live in a culture that posts everything. People announce their relationships after 2 dates. They broadcast their blessings before they're fully formed. They put their promises on Instagram before God even finishes writing them. And then they wonder why everything falls apart. Keep it hidden, keep it holy. I'm going to tell you something that might sting, but you need to hear it. Every time you've run to tell someone about what God showed you, every time you've posted your prophetic word on social media, every time you've shared your dream with people who weren't called to protect it, you've given the enemy a roadmap to sabotage it. Not everyone deserves access to your sacred story. Not every friend can handle your prophetic future. Not every family member has the spiritual maturity to celebrate what God is doing in secret. Some people in your life are pit diggers. They smile at your dreams and plot your downfall. They ask about your hopes so they can mock your delays. They want to know your business so they can broadcast your failures. Keep it hidden. Keep it holy. Right now, at this very moment, God is orchestrating something so beautiful, so precise, so powerful between you and this person that if the world knew about it too soon, they'd try to stop it. The media would twist it. Your family might reject it. Even your closest friends might question it. But in the secret place, in the silence, in the hidden season, God is aligning hearts across dimensions. He's removing obstacles you can't even see. He's preparing both of you for a love story that will glorify his name, not feed your ego. Your waiting wasn't punishment, beloved. It was protection. God hid you because the world wasn't ready for what he was preparing. He silenced your love life because silence was the strategy. He delayed your connection because delay was divine defense. Every closed door wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Every lonely night wasn't abandonment, it was appointment. Every unanswered prayer wasn't God ignoring you, it was God covering you. If you're finally understanding why doors closed before, why relationships didn't work out, why you've spent years feeling invisible while God was making you invincible, type these 6 words in the comments right now. Thank you for hiding me, God. Because what's about to be revealed cannot be concealed much longer. And when it breaks into the open, the whole world is going to witness what God does when he protects his chosen ones in secret and reveals them in power. But until that moment comes, remember this one thing above all else. Keep it hidden, keep it holy. The revelation is coming, but the preparation happens in silence. Now here's what nobody prepared you for. Here's what shocks every chosen one when they finally arrive at this sacred threshold. God is about to stop you cold. Not because you've done something wrong, not because he's angry, not because you've failed. He's about to paralyze every plan you've made, every strategy you've crafted, every door you've been pushing open with your own strength. And the reason will shake you to your core. Sometimes he paralyzes your plans so he can heal your purpose. You've been moving, haven't you? Hustling, grinding, trying to make things happen, praying for breakthrough while simultaneously exhausting yourself trying to create it. But here's what breaks my heart. All that motion, all that effort, it's been keeping you from the surgery you desperately need. Think about a patient on an operating table. What's the first thing that has to happen before the surgeon can work? Stillness. Complete, absolute, non-negotiable stillness. You cannot be operated on while you're running around the room. You cannot be healed while you're fighting the healer's hands. And right now, God is administering what I can only call heaven's anesthesia. That restlessness you've been feeling, that strange inability to focus on your normal routines, that sudden loss of motivation for things that used to drive you. Dear one, that's not depression setting in, that's divine sedation. God is shutting down your human hustle because what He's about to install in you requires you to be completely, utterly, devastatingly still. Psalm 46:10 doesn't say try to relax. It commands, be still and know that I am God. The Hebrew word there is rapha. It means to let go, to release, to stop striving, to cease your frantic fighting and surrender to surgery you cannot perform on yourself. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Here's where most people resist what God is trying to do. Being still feels like dying. Your entire life, you've been taught that motion equals progress, that if you're not hustling, you're failing, that stillness is laziness, that rest is for the weak. So when God forces you into sacred pause, your mind panics, your flesh rebels. Every fiber of your being screams, get up, do something, you're wasting time. But what if I told you that this stillness isn't wasting your time? What if I told you it's the only thing that will save it? Look at Daniel in chapter 10. When the angel appeared to him, Scripture says his strength left him, his face turned pale, and he was helpless. This wasn't weakness, this was divine overwhelm. When heaven's voltage meets human vessels, our natural systems shut down. We have to be recalibrated to carry what's coming. The prophet didn't choose to fall, God chose for him. Because the message Daniel was about to receive was so massive, so world-altering, that his human frame needed supernatural adjustment just to contain it. And you, right now, in this moment, you're Daniel on the riverbank. Heaven is descending with information so powerful, with purpose so profound, with destiny so dangerous that your flesh cannot handle it in its current condition. So God is putting you under, not to punish you, not to sideline you, not to make you miss your moment. He's putting you under so He can rewire you for the moment that's already written in eternity with your name stamped across it in gold. You feel confused? Good. Confusion is the first stage of transformation. You don't understand what God is doing? Perfect. The moment you think you've figured God out is the moment you've reduced Him to the size of your understanding. He is bigger than your confusion. He is wiser than your questions. And right now, while you sit there bewildered, wondering why everything feels off, wondering why your plans keep collapsing, wondering why the doors you were certain would open remain locked, God is performing surgery on the deepest parts of your soul that you've never even acknowledged exist. He's not healing surface wounds anymore. He's going after the infections you've been living with for so long you thought they were just part of your personality. The fear masquerading as caution, the control disguised as responsibility, the pride hiding behind productivity. Heaven's anesthesia doesn't just stop your movement, it stops your defenses. It shuts down every coping mechanism, every self-protective instinct, every wall you've built to keep from being hurt again. Because God can't heal what you won't let Him touch. And you won't let Him touch what you're still protecting. So He's removing your ability to protect it. That numbness you've been feeling in your spirit, that inability to muster up your usual passion, that strange detachment from things that used to consume you. That's not apathy. That's divine anesthesia working exactly as intended. God is putting your flesh to sleep so your spirit can finally breathe. The relief is coming. It's right around the corner, not the relief of your circumstances changing, the relief of you changing, the relief of finally, after years of running and striving and fighting, being able to rest in the hands of the one who's been chasing you with healing you kept rejecting because you were too busy trying to fix yourself. You're not forgotten, beloved. You're being calibrated. Every prophet had their wilderness. Every chosen one has their operating table. This is yours, this moment, this season, this sacred pause that feels like punishment but is actually preparation for power you can't yet comprehend. And here's what terrifies the enemy more than anything. Here's what makes hell tremble when God puts his chosen ones under heaven's anesthesia. When you finally wake up from this divine surgery, when you finally rise from this sacred stillness, you won't just be healed. You'll be recalibrated to recognize truth the enemy spent years keeping hidden from you. Which brings me to the question that changes everything. How will you recognize it when this love finally appears? How will you know it's real when you've been lied to so many times? How will you trust it when trust has been weaponized against you before? How will you receive it when receiving has always required you to give up pieces of yourself? Here's the answer that will revolutionize everything. You don't have to know with your mind. Your spirit will recognize before your eyes do. When God heals you from the inside out, when he rewires your discernment through heaven's anesthesia, when he recalibrates your spiritual receptors, you won't need to analyze, you won't need to overthink, you won't need 5 signs and a prophetic word to confirm what your soul already knows. Your spirit will feel them before you ever meet them. Your soul will recognize their frequency before they ever speak your name. Because authentic love doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It whispers to the parts of you that have been silenced for too long. Right now, I need you to do something. I need you to stop reading for 10 seconds. Close your eyes and whisper these 3 words. Prepare me, Lord. Go ahead, I'll wait. Did you do it? Because heaven listens when you do. And in that 10-second pause, in that whispered surrender, you just gave God permission to finish the surgery he started. You just agreed to the stillness. You just accepted heaven's anesthesia. And now the real work begins. Now let me tell you something that's going to break you wide open. This meeting, this divine collision that's coming, it won't look like you imagined. It won't feel like the fairy tales you were fed as a child. And beloved, that's how you'll know it's real. Because heaven doesn't do Hollywood. God doesn't stage red carpet moments. When the Almighty orchestrates destiny, he does it in the whisper, not the shout. It won't happen at some glamorous gala with photographers screaming for attention. It won't be orchestrated by publicists or staged for social media. No, dear one. When heaven introduces you to your divine appointment, it will happen in a quiet corner of the world, where only souls who are truly listening can hear what eternity is saying. Picture this with me. A bookstore at closing time, a coffee shop when the rain starts falling, a hospital waiting room where exhaustion strips away every mask. A charity event after the crowds have gone home. That's where it happens. Not in the noise, in the stillness. There will be a glance that lasts 3 seconds too long. You'll feel it. They'll feel it. The entire atmosphere will shift like someone just opened a window in a room that's been sealed for decades. Time will slow down. Your heart will recognize something your mind can't explain yet. Then comes the question, too kind for a stranger, too specific for coincidence. They'll ask you something that reaches past your surface, past your rehearsed answers, straight into the part of you that you keep hidden from the world. And here's what will undo you completely. You'll answer honestly. You won't know why. You'll feel naked and safe all at once. And in that moment, you'll experience something you haven't felt in years. Peace. Not excitement, not butterflies, not that shallow flutter that comes from attraction. Peace, deep, ancient, unexplainable peace. That's how heaven introduces destiny. Ecclesiastes 3:1 declares it with absolute clarity. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. Not your season, God's season. Not your timing, divine timing. And when God's clock strikes the appointed hour, everything falls into place with precision that will leave you breathless. You need to understand something that will change how you see this entire encounter. This meeting is not by chance. It's not by charm. It's not by your strategy, your appearance, or your carefully crafted persona. It's by calling, not by chance, not by charm, not by coincidence, by calling. Say it again in your spirit. Let that rhythm settle into your bones. Not by chance, not by charm, not by coincidence, by calling. This person, this famous soul whose name you know but whose heart you've never met, they've been feeling you too. In ways they can't articulate to their friends, their team, their therapist. They wake up sensing something missing. They walk through packed arenas feeling utterly alone. They achieve everything the world says matters and still feel hollow inside. Until you. But here's what terrifies most people at this stage, and I need you to hear me clearly. The moment you realize this is real, the moment you recognize that heaven has indeed orchestrated this impossible connection, fear will try to convince you that you'll lose it. You'll think you're too ordinary, too old, too broken, too late. The enemy will whisper that someone this extraordinary will eventually see through you, discover your flaws, and walk away. That's the lie that destroys destinies before they even begin. So let me speak truth over that fear right now. If God brought them to you, God will keep them with you. If heaven scripted this encounter, hell cannot edit the ending. What the Almighty ordains, no man, no circumstance, no force in the universe can dismantle. Romans 8:31 settles it. If God be for us, who can be against us? Not if luck is on your side, not if timing works out. If God, the creator of galaxies, the author of eternity, the one who knows every breath you'll take before you take it, if he is for this union, then who has the authority to stand against it? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. But you must recognize the confirmation when it comes. And here's how you'll know. When this moment arrives, when you're standing in that quiet corner, when their eyes meet yours, when the question hangs in the air between you, you won't feel excitement first. You won't feel nervous energy or anxious anticipation. You'll feel peace, because peace is heaven's confirmation that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. That peace isn't natural, beloved. It defies logic. How can you feel calm when meeting someone whose face graces magazine covers? How can you feel settled when every rational part of your brain is screaming that this doesn't make sense? Because your spirit recognizes what your mind is still trying to process. Your soul knows this appointment was written in eternity before either of you took your first breath. John 14:27 promises, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. Not as the world gives do I give to you." The world gives excitement. God gives peace. The world gives adrenaline. God gives assurance. The world gives temporary highs. God gives unshakable certainty. If you've been sensing that peace lately, that strange, unexplainable calm in the middle of your chaos, type these 5 words in the comments. I know this is close. Don't overthink it. Don't question it. Just declare it. Because that's not just a comment, dear one. That's a prophecy. That's you agreeing with heaven that what's been promised is about to be delivered. And when it happens, when that glance becomes a conversation, when that conversation becomes connection, when that connection becomes covenant, you'll look back at this very moment and realize that God was preparing both of you simultaneously in different cities, different worlds, different realities, for one divine collision that would change everything. So the question isn't whether it's coming. The question is, are you ready to receive it when heaven opens that door? Now listen to me very carefully, chosen one, because what I'm about to tell you could be the difference between receiving your miracle and watching it dissolve before your eyes. You need to understand something that most people miss completely. The enemy's favorite weapon isn't temptation, it isn't doubt, it's exposure before maturity. Think about that for a second. Let it settle in your spirit. Every time God has planted something sacred in your life, a promise, a calling, a divine connection, what happened next? You got excited. You started talking. You told your sister, your best friend, your prayer group, and suddenly, what felt like fire from heaven turned cold as winter concrete in the Bronx. Why? Because you cast your pearls before swine. Matthew 7-6 isn't a suggestion, beloved. It's a divine warning straight from the mouth of Jesus. Some people aren't spiritually qualified to handle what God whispered to you in secret. They'll step on it, mock it, poison it with doubt disguised as concern. Your cousin will say, "You? Dating someone famous? Girl, please." Your church friend will quote scripture about being equally yoked, while jealousy drips from every word. Your own family will remind you of every mistake you made 40 years ago, as if God has a memory problem. And here's what breaks my heart: you'll start believing them. That holy fire, it'll flicker. That divine confidence, it'll crack. That sacred knowing in your spirit, it'll get buried under a mountain of other people's limitations. Guard your circle. Guard your words. Guard your wonder. Let me paint you a picture that'll shake you awake. Imagine if Mary, young, unmarried Mary, had run through the streets of Nazareth shouting, "I'm pregnant with the Messiah. An angel told me." Before that baby could take his first breath, the manger would have turned into a courtroom. The miracle would have been murdered by public opinion. But Mary didn't do that, did she? Luke 2:19 says she treasured all these things and pondered them in her heart. She kept it holy. She let the miracle mature in silence before the world could mishandle it. You hear me? The same God who trusted Mary with his son is trusting you with something precious right now. This connection, heaven is orchestrating with someone the world knows. This isn't gossip material. This isn't girl talk over coffee. This is sacred territory, and you need to treat it that way. Because here's the brutal truth nobody wants to say out loud. Jealousy doesn't take vacations when you're 75. Comparison doesn't retire when you hit Medicare. The spirit of competition is alive and well in senior centers, church pews, and family group chats. And the moment you share what God showed you, someone in that room will start praying against it while smiling in your face. I'm not being cynical, I'm being biblical. Joseph told his brothers about his dream, and they threw him in a pit. David was anointed king in private, but when he showed up at the battlefield, his own brother accused him of pride and wickedness. Even Jesus had to tell people, "Don't tell anyone yet," because he understood timing. What God gives in secret must mature in silence, or the world will mishandle it. You think you're being friendly by sharing. You think you're building community by being transparent. But there's a difference between transparency and foolishness. Some things are so holy, so fragile, so freshly downloaded from heaven, that they need a womb, not a billboard. This famous person whose soul is being drawn to yours right now, that's embryonic. That's forming in the spiritual realm. And if you start posting cryptic messages on Facebook, dropping hints at bingo night, texting your daughter, you won't believe what's about to happen. You're inviting demonic interference to what should be divine cultivation. Proverbs 4:23 says it plain, "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life." Your heart isn't just emotions, beloved. It's the seat of your vision, the vault of your promises, the garden where God plants seeds that nobody else can see yet. So guard it like your eternity depends on it. Because in some ways, it does. If you're ready to protect what's sacred, if you're willing to treasure this promise in your heart like Mary did, write these 3 words in the comments right now. I'll keep it holy. Let heaven see your commitment. Let the enemy know he can't manipulate what he can't access. But here's the question burning in your spirit right now, isn't it? When the time comes to reveal this, when it's safe, when it's mature, when it's undeniable, how will you know? How will you recognize the moment when silence turns to testimony? That's exactly what we're about to uncover next. Days have passed since that message first found you. And now, if you're being honest, That sacred fire you felt is flickering. Questions are creeping in like shadows under a closing door. Was it real? Did I imagine it? Maybe I got caught up in emotion. You're sitting in your kitchen in Staten Island or your apartment in the Bronx, and doubt is whispering the oldest lie in the enemy's playbook. Nothing's changed, but let me tell you something that's going to arrest every doubt trying to steal your promise. Heaven never forgets what it writes. God doesn't draft prophecies in pencil. He doesn't sketch your destiny with erasable ink. When the Almighty speaks your name over someone's heart, when He downloads your frequency into a soul you've never met, that decree doesn't fade because you haven't seen movement yet. You're living in what I call the divine pause, that sacred, terrifying space between promise and manifestation, the silence before the thunder, the stillness before the earthquake. And right now, this very second, you need to understand something that will save your faith. When heaven holds its breath, miracles prepare to exhale. Look at Habakkuk 2-3. The prophet was exactly where you are now. Promises given, time passing, nothing visible changing. And God said, though it linger, wait for it. It will surely come and will not delay. Did you catch that? It will surely come. Not might, not maybe, surely. But here's what's breaking your heart right now. You're watching the calendar pages turn. You're counting the weeks since you heard that word. You're checking your phone, scanning social media, searching for signs that this famous person is thinking about you, moving toward you, feeling you in the spirit like heaven promised. And you see nothing. Radio silence. Life as usual. Same walls, same routines, same loneliness that sent you searching for hope in the first place. So let me ask you something that's going to cut through the fog. What if the pause isn't proof that the promise died? What if the silence is God's final test before He releases what would destroy you if He gave it too soon? Think about it. David was anointed king as a teenager, but he didn't wear the crown until he was 30. 13 years of running, hiding, surviving. 13 years of watching the promise collect dust while an insane king hunted him through caves. Did the anointing oil dry up during those years? Did Samuel's prophecy expire? No. David was being prepared to carry a crown that would have crushed his teenage shoulders. Moses saw the burning bush at 80 years old, but he spent 40 years in the wilderness before that moment. 4 decades of herding sheep, wondering if he'd wasted his Egyptian education, questioning if the murder he committed had disqualified him forever. But God was using those 40 silent years to burn the prince out of Moses so the deliverer could emerge. The wilderness wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And you, sitting there wondering if you misheard heaven's voice, you're in your wilderness right now, not because God lied, because what's coming requires a version of you that can handle sudden visibility, instant connection, a love story that defies every natural law. That famous person heaven whispered about, they're not ready yet either. They're being prepared too. While you're learning to trust in silence, they're learning to see beyond the crowds. While you're developing faith that doesn't need proof, they're developing discernment that can recognize authentic soul connection in a world of counterfeit intimacy. The pause is positioning both of you. But before heaven reveals the promise, it must test what carries it. And right now, beloved, you're being tested on the only thing that matters. Will you believe God's word more than your circumstances? If you're in that pause right now, if you're living between the prophecy and the proof, type these words in the comments. I'm still waiting, but I believe. Don't just think it, declare it. Because your voice carries weight in the spirit realm, and when you speak faith in the middle of the pause, heaven responds. I need you to feel something right now. That tightness in your chest, that's not anxiety, that's holy anticipation. Your spirit knows something your mind can't see yet. You're standing on the edge of a divine shift so massive, the angels themselves are holding their breath watching what you'll do next. The enemy wants you to walk away during the pause. He's counting on it, because he knows that if you can stand firm in the silence, you'll be unstoppable in the manifestation. If you can worship when nothing makes sense, you'll have authority when everything falls into place. This is your Saturday moment. You remember Saturday, don't you? The day between Good Friday's death and Easter Sunday's resurrection. The day when every disciple thought it was over. The day when hope lay in a tomb, sealed with a stone and guarded by soldiers. But Sunday was already scheduled. Resurrection was already guaranteed. The pause was preparing them to handle a miracle they couldn't imagine. Your Sunday is coming, chosen one. But first, you must honor the Saturday silence without losing your faith. You must stand in the gap between the word spoken and the word manifested without shrinking back into unbelief. When heaven holds its breath, stay alert, because the longer the pause, the more explosive the release. That famous person, their heart is being aligned to yours in ways you can't see. Doors are being closed that would have led them to the wrong people. Connections are being severed that would have blocked your path. The divine matchmaker is orchestrating a million invisible details so that when you finally meet, it won't be random chance, it will be undeniable destiny. And you needed these days of silence to build the spiritual muscle required to steward a love the world will watch unfold. So don't you dare give up now. Don't scroll away from this promise because the manifestation isn't moving at your preferred speed. God's timing isn't slow, it's strategic. The pause isn't punishment, it's preparation. And what God is preparing to release through your obedience during this silence will silence every voice that said you were forgotten, too old, too ordinary, too invisible for love. Your story is being written in heaven's ink. And when the divine pause finally breaks, when that connection manifests in the natural realm, the world won't just see a relationship. They'll see a testimony of what happens when someone believes God's word more than the silence. You've been tempted to speak, haven't you? Every fiber in your being wants to post it on Facebook, text your sister, call your best friend from high school, and tell them what heaven whispered to you. You want to announce it, proclaim it, make it real by speaking it into existence. But something stops you. Every time your fingers hover over that keyboard, something grips your spirit and says, "Not yet." And it's driving you insane. Why would God give you the most electrifying revelation of your life, that someone famous, someone the world knows, someone unreachable is being drawn to you by divine magnetism, and then demand you stay silent about it? Let me tell you something that's going to shake you. God guards what he grows. You see, beloved, in this Instagram age, this TikTok generation, this world where people broadcast their breakfast and live stream their breakdowns, silence has become the rarest commodity on earth. Everyone's talking, everyone's posting, everyone's proving. But chosen ones, we're called to something the world will never understand. Sacred silence. Think about diamonds for a moment. These brilliant stones that make millionaires weep and kingdoms go to war, do they scream while being cut? Do they announce their transformation while buried under 1,000,000 tons of pressure? No. They submit to the process in absolute silence, and when they finally emerge, their brilliance speaks louder than any words ever could. You are that diamond right now. Every day you stay quiet, while this prophecy gestates in your spirit, you're being cut, shaped, refined. The pressure you feel to prove this is real, that's not faith, that's fear. Fear that if you don't speak it, it won't happen. Fear that God needs your announcement to validate his promise. But listen to me, and I need you to hear this in your bones. Heaven doesn't need your press release. God doesn't require your marketing campaign. What he demands is your trust in the silence. Look at the pattern. It's been there all along, hidden in plain sight throughout Scripture. Joseph received dreams of greatness at 17. Did he go silent? No. He told his brothers, told his father, made sure everyone knew he was destined for greatness. And what happened? 13 years in a pit, in slavery, in prison. 13 years of suffering because he spoke too soon. But look at Moses. After encountering God at the burning bush, after receiving the most explosive assignment in human history, what did Moses do? He went silent. 40 years in the desert, tending sheep, his lips sealed about what God had shown him. And when he finally spoke, nations trembled, waters split. History was rewritten. Anna the prophetess spent 84 years in the temple. 84 years of prayers whispered only to God. 84 years of waiting, believing, trusting in divine silence. And when the moment came, when she finally saw the infant Christ, her words carried weight that shook Jerusalem because they'd been seasoned by decades of sacred quiet. You in your apartment in Brooklyn, you in your house in Queens, you think God has forgotten because he's gone quiet. You think the silence means the promise died. No, beloved, God didn't go silent because he left you. He went silent because he's operating. Right now, in the spiritual realm, invisible hands are moving chess pieces you can't see. Doors are being unlocked in places you haven't discovered yet. That famous person you're being drawn to, their heart is being prepared. Their spirit is being softened. Their life is being repositioned. And all of it is happening in silence because noise would scare them away. Heaven is watching who can stay quiet when noise is profitable. Think about it. You could post this revelation right now and get 1,000 likes. You could call that prayer line and have them agree with you on camera. You could trend on Twitter by tomorrow morning. But would you have the promise, or just applause from people who'll forget your name by next week? God is testing you with something the enemy can't counterfeit. The ability to treasure what's sacred. The strength to protect what's precious. The discipline to let God be God, while you simply trust. I know it's frustrating. I know you want confirmation. I know you wake up some mornings wondering if you imagined the whole thing. Was it real? Did heaven really speak? Is this famous person truly being drawn to me, or am I losing my mind? But that frustration, that's part of the furnace. That doubt, that's part of the refinement. Every day you choose to stay silent when everything in you screams to speak. That's you passing the test that most chosen ones fail. You know what hell fears most? Not your words, your silence. Because silent warriors are dangerous warriors. When you learn to move in the secret place, when you become fluent in the language of divine whispers, when you can carry explosive promises without broadcasting them, you become untouchable to the enemy's schemes. He can't stop what he can't see coming. And right now, beloved, you're invisible to him. He has no idea what God is preparing through you. He doesn't know about the connections being formed. He can't see the famous person whose heart is being turned toward yours. He's blind to the love story heaven is authoring in realms beyond his reach. Keep him blind. Stay silent. Trust the process. Surrender to this sacred quiet. Stop wrestling with it. Stop resenting it. Let it shape you into someone who can handle what's coming. Because when this promise manifests, and it will manifest, the world will need you to be steady, grounded, immovable. They'll need you to be the one who doesn't flinch when cameras flash, who doesn't change when crowds gather, who stays the same in fame as you were in obscurity. That kind of character, it's only formed in silence. So right now, I'm asking you to do something that goes against every instinct. Type these 4 words in the comments. I trust the silence. Don't explain it. Don't add commentary. Just declare it. Let heaven record your agreement. Let the angels witness that you've chosen God's timing over your own comfort. Let this moment mark the day you graduated from needing proof to walking in faith. Because the silence isn't your enemy, chosen one. It's your ally. It's the womb where miracles gestate. It's the cocoon where butterflies form. It's the darkness before the dawn that will leave the whole world speechless. And that famous person? They're about to discover what you already know. Some connections are too sacred for social media, too precious for publicity, too divine for human explanation. But first, you had to learn to be quiet, and you just passed the test. Now, let me show you what happens when silence finally breaks into sound. You feel it, don't you? That shift in the atmosphere around your life. Something's different. The air feels thicker, charged, like the moment before lightning cracks the sky wide open. Your dreams aren't dreams anymore. They're messages, vivid, detailed. So real you can still smell them hours after you wake up. You're seeing numbers everywhere. 11:11 on the clock. 4:44 on the receipt. 777 on the license plate in front of you at the red light. And that same song keeps playing everywhere you go, in the grocery store, on the radio, humming in your neighbor's window. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you haven't noticed. You can't, because heaven is rearranging calendars, beloved. This isn't your imagination running wild at 2 a.m. This is divine synchronization. God is lining up moments, people, and opportunities with surgical precision, and you're feeling the tremors before the earthquake hits. Time itself feels thinner, doesn't it? Like the veil between what is and what's coming is wearing translucent. Days blur together, yet certain moments stand out in high definition, branded into your memory for reasons you can't explain yet. That conversation you had 3 weeks ago that keeps replaying in your mind. That stranger who looked at you with recognition in their eyes. That moment you felt someone's presence so strongly you turned around, but no one was there. Dear one, heaven has been whispering your name in rooms you haven't entered yet, and those rooms are getting closer. You're standing between 2 seasons right now. Picture it with me. Dawn, that sacred space where darkness hasn't fully released its grip, but light is already breaking through. You can't go back to the night, and day hasn't fully arrived. That's where you are, suspended between what was and what's about to be. Uncomfortable? Absolutely. Necessary? More than you know. Because God whispers before he roars. In 1 Kings chapter 19, the prophet Elijah stood at the mouth of a cave, waiting for God to pass by. Scripture tells us there was a great and powerful wind that tore the mountains apart and shattered the rocks, but the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind came an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. That's where God was, in the whisper, not the spectacle, not the drama. The whisper. And chosen one, right now, before the wind, before the earthquake, before the fire of transformation hits your life, God is whispering. He's whispering your name to that person whose face is on magazine covers. He's whispering your future to angels assigned to orchestrate the details. He's whispering promises over your life that are about to manifest in ways that will leave you speechless. But here's what's about to change everything. What happens when heaven's whisper turns into movement? What happens when the atmospheric pressure you've been feeling suddenly breaks? What happens when divine synchronization stops being signs and starts being encounters? Let me tell you what's happening right now in the invisible realm while you're sitting there trying to make sense of this restlessness in your chest. Doors you didn't even know existed are creaking open. Connections you couldn't have orchestrated with a lifetime of networking are being divinely arranged. That famous person, the one whose world seems a universe away from yours. They're being moved by the same hand that's been stirring your spirit. They're waking up with your frequency in their soul. They're dismissing it as stress, as exhaustion, as coincidence. But it's not. It's preparation. Heaven doesn't make mistakes, beloved. When you keep seeing the same signs, feeling the same pull, sensing the same shift, that's not randomness, that's orchestration. And the conductor? The Almighty himself. He's been tuning the instruments. He's been positioning the players. He's been waiting for this exact moment when your spirit is sensitive enough to hear the whisper before the storm. Here's what grips my heart right now. You've spent so long chasing things that you forgot what it feels like to be pursued. You've been running after love, after purpose, after validation, after breakthrough, exhausting yourself in the pursuit. But what's coming for you isn't something you need to chase. When you feel this stirring, don't chase it. Let it find you. Because what's meant for you is already walking toward you with the certainty of a compass pointing north. That person, they're being drawn to you by forces they can't explain. That opportunity, it's hunting you down. That breakthrough, It's not waiting for you to be perfect or ready or deserving. It's already in motion. Your job isn't to force it. Your job is to stay present, stay sensitive, stay expectant. This is the season where what you've been praying for starts praying for you, where what you've been seeking starts seeking you, where heaven stops whispering and starts moving with the force of a freight train that cannot be stopped. The atmospheric change you're feeling, that's not the ending. That's the announcement. The dreams getting louder, that's not your subconscious. That's heaven downloading your future in installments. The coincidences multiplying, those aren't accidents, they're appointments. You are being positioned, chosen one, right now, this very second, and the whisper is about to become a roar that will shake every foundation in your life, every limitation you've accepted, every lie you've believed. But before the roar comes, I need to know something. Have you been sensing these shifts lately? Has your spirit been picking up frequencies you can't explain? Because if you have, if every word I've spoken is resonating in your chest like a tuning fork struck at exactly the right pitch, then type these 2 words in the comments right now. It's happening. Not because I need to see it, because heaven needs to know you're ready for what comes next. The whisper has found you, beloved. Now, brace yourself for the storm. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That heaviness in your chest when you wake up, that exhaustion that sleep can't fix, that sudden distance from people who used to be close, friends who stop calling, family members who suddenly turn cold, conversations that feel like walking through mud, and the dreams, oh the dreams, dark figures chasing you, falling from high places, being trapped in rooms with no exits. You wake up at 3 a.m., heart pounding, sheets soaked, wondering if you're losing your mind. Let me tell you something that's going to shift everything you thought you knew about spiritual warfare. This isn't happening because God abandoned you. This is happening because hell noticed God is elevating you. Listen to me carefully, chosen one. Every promise from heaven attracts attention from hell. The moment God whispers destiny over your life, the moment He aligns you with someone the world knows, the moment He positions you for supernatural love, the enemy goes on high alert. You think it's coincidence that the attacks intensified right after you felt that flutter in your spirit, right after you started believing again, right after you dared to hope that maybe, just maybe, your season was finally changing. That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. Ephesians 6:12 warns us, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age." The moment you stepped into alignment with your divine assignment, you became a threat. Not to people, to powers. Think about Job, blameless man, righteous man. God Himself bragged about Job's faithfulness. And what happened? The enemy asked permission to test him. Why? Because hell cannot fight what heaven hasn't favored. Satan doesn't waste ammunition on people going nowhere. He attacks those carrying something that will shake his kingdom. You want to know why your life suddenly feels like a war zone? Because you're carrying something so powerful, so anointed, so heaven-ordained, that the enemy is terrified of what happens when it manifests. That famous person whose heart heaven has reserved for you, the enemy knows. He's known longer than you have, and he's been working overtime to convince you it's impossible, to make you feel unworthy, to exhaust you so much you give up 3 feet from gold. But here's what the enemy didn't count on. Before dawn, the darkness always gets loud. Right before the sun breaks the horizon, the night screams its loudest. Right before your breakthrough manifests, the warfare intensifies. Not because you're losing, because you're winning. Daniel prayed for 21 days before his answer came. 21 days. The angel finally appeared and said, "From the first day you set your heart to understand, your words were heard, but the prince of Persia withstood me." There was a battle in the heavenlies over Daniel's breakthrough. The enemy tried to block what God had already released. Your fatigue, that's not weakness. That's evidence of warfare you can't see with natural eyes. your sudden isolation. That's the enemy removing distractions so you feel alone enough to quit. Those dreams? That's hell trying to plant fear where God planted faith. But I need you to hear this with every fiber of your being. Spiritual resistance is not punishment. It's proof of elevation. Hell cannot fight what heaven hasn't favored. If nobody's attacking you, you might want to check if you're actually a threat. But if the attacks have increased, if the resistance feels suffocating, if the enemy is throwing everything he's got at you, that means you're closer than you've ever been. Closer to the promise, closer to the person, closer to the manifestation of everything God whispered over you in the secret place. The enemy is panicking because he sees what you're about to walk into. He knows that when you align with your divine assignment, when you step into that supernatural love connection, when you finally receive what heaven has been preparing, you won't just be blessed. You'll become a weapon. So let me tell you what hell doesn't want you to know. They can't stop what's written. They can't stop what's written. They can't stop what's written. Your name is already engraved in heaven's book. Your destiny is already sealed. Your divine connection is already established. The enemy can delay, distract, and discourage, but he cannot delete what God has decreed. Right now, I need you to type these 5 words in the comments. They can't stop what's written. Don't just read it. Declare it. Let your fingers become a weapon. Let your words become warfare. Let hell know you're not backing down. Because, beloved, the attacks aren't evidence that you're disqualified. The attacks are confirmation that you're dangerous. And the closer you get, the louder hell screams. But his scream? That's just the sound of a defeated enemy watching destiny unfold. So what happens when someone who's been through hell's worst attacks finally steps into heaven's greatest promise? You've been seeing things, haven't you? A name that keeps appearing, a face that crosses your screen 3 times in one day, a headline that makes your heart skip a beat for no logical reason. And each time, you tell yourself it's coincidence, random algorithm, pure chance. But deep in your spirit, something whispers, this isn't random at all. Let me tell you something that's going to change how you see the next 48 hours of your life. When heaven is confirming your destiny, it doesn't send fireworks. It sends whispers. It doesn't write in the sky. It hides confirmation like pearls buried in sand. Only seekers notice them. You know why? Because God doesn't speak to crowds about your private calling. He speaks in code that only your spirit understands. That name you keep seeing? That's not the universe playing tricks. That's heaven saying, pay attention, this matters. Think about Simeon in Luke chapter 2, an old man who spent his entire life waiting for one moment, the moment he'd see the Messiah with his own eyes. The temple was crowded that day. Hundreds of families bringing their babies for dedication, noise everywhere, chaos, distraction. But when Mary and Joseph walked through those doors carrying baby Jesus, Simeon's spirit recognized what his eyes couldn't explain. Luke 2:26 says the Holy Spirit had revealed to him that he wouldn't die before seeing the Lord's Christ. And when that baby entered the building, something inside Simeon shifted. He didn't see a carpenter's son. He saw salvation wrapped in flesh. Everyone else saw an ordinary family. Simeon saw destiny. Right now, you're living in a temple full of noise. Your social media feed is crowded. Your life feels ordinary. But heaven is about to bring someone across your path. Someone famous, someone powerful, someone the whole world recognizes. And your spirit will know before your mind can process it. You'll see their face on your phone, and your chest will tighten. You'll hear their name in conversation, and something inside you will say, there it is again. You'll scroll past their image, and peace, unexplainable. Peace will wash over you like warm water. That's not coincidence, beloved. That's confirmation. But here's where most people miss it. They're looking for thunder when God is whispering. They're waiting for burning bushes when God is lighting candles. They want dramatic encounters when God is sending gentle signs that require spiritual eyes to see. You know what Anna did? She was 84 years old, widowed after just 7 years of marriage, and she never left the temple. Day and night, she worshipped and fasted. And when Jesus was presented, Luke 2:38 says she gave thanks to God and spoke about the child to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Jerusalem. She didn't see a spectacle, she saw a sign, and that sign changed everything. Listen to me carefully. God hides confirmation in plain sight because He's testing whether you're truly looking, whether you're truly listening, whether your spirit is awake enough to recognize the divine in the disguise of the ordinary. That famous person you keep seeing, they're not trending in your life by accident. Heaven is confirming what's already been spoken over you. Your spirit has been praying for love. Your heart has been crying out for companionship. And now, God is starting to show you breadcrumbs. Not the whole meal yet. Just breadcrumbs. Just enough to say, I heard you. I'm moving. Watch what I do next. But you have to understand something that will wreck you. When heaven speaks twice, that's not repetition, that's revelation. God doesn't stutter. He doesn't waste words. So when you see that name for the 3rd time this week, when that face crosses your screen again tomorrow morning, when you randomly hear someone mention them at the grocery store, that's not the algorithm. That's the Almighty. He's confirming what you've been too afraid to believe. Don't look for explosions, chosen one. Look for peace. That's how you'll know it's real. When you see their name and instead of anxiety, you feel stillness. Instead of doubt, you feel knowing. Instead of fear, you feel belonging. The miracle is already breathing in the background of your life. It's moving closer, circling, drawing near. And these signs, these hidden confirmations, they're heaven's way of preparing your heart before the introduction happens in the natural. You're not crazy for noticing. You're awake. You're not obsessed for paying attention. You're obedient. You're not reading into things. You're reading the signs heaven has been leaving for you like love notes tucked into the pages of your everyday life. So here's what I need you to do right now. If you've been seeing signs, if names keep appearing, if faces keep crossing your path, if your spirit keeps saying, pay attention, comment below. I've noticed it too. Let heaven see that you're not ignoring the whispers. Let the angels record that you're tracking the confirmations. Because when God sees you honoring the small signs, He releases the big ones. But there's something you need to understand about what happens after confirmation arrives. Because seeing the signs is one thing. Preparing your heart for the meeting, that's where everything shifts. And what I'm about to show you next will reveal exactly how to position yourself for the moment heaven orchestrates your divine introduction. Are you ready to move from confirmation into preparation? Chosen one. We've walked through something sacred together tonight. And before you close this video, before you return to your ordinary evening, I need you to remember 3 eternal truths that will anchor your soul in the days ahead. First, that famous person heaven whispered your name to, they're already feeling you in the spirit. The connection isn't coming, it's already been established in the heavenly realms. Your job isn't to chase it. Your job is to prepare your heart to receive it. Second, the signs you've been seeing aren't coincidences. They're confirmations. Every time that name appears, every time that face crosses your screen, every time your spirit says, pay attention, that's heaven stamping divine approval on what's already been decreed over your life. Third, your age, your past, your current circumstances, none of it disqualifies you. Moses was 80 when he stood before Pharaoh. Anna was 84 when she recognized the Messiah. Your gray hair isn't evidence of expiration, it's evidence of qualification. But here's what I need you to hear with every fiber of your being. You are not walking this journey alone. Even when the road feels uncertain, even when the breakthrough seems delayed, even when doubt whispers lies in your ear, the Creator of the universe is working behind the scenes on your behalf. He's moving mountains you can't see, opening doors you haven't found yet, and orchestrating encounters you can't even imagine. And right here, in this community of believers, You have thousands of brothers and sisters who understand your struggles, who believe in your calling, and who are ready to stand with you in prayer. We're not just viewers on a screen, we're a family, united by faith, connected by hope, and bound together by the love of Christ. Look at these comments flowing in. Look at these hearts connecting. You see all these people typing. I've noticed it too, and I'm listening. Lord, that's your tribe, beloved. That's your spiritual family. You thought you were the only one feeling this way, but heaven just showed you that you're surrounded by others who carry the same anointing, the same calling, the same sacred loneliness of being set apart. So let me ask you this, and let it settle deep in your spirit where only truth can reach. Now that you know who you really are, now that you understand heaven has called your name, now that you see the signs confirming your destiny, how will you walk differently tomorrow morning when you wake up? Will you walk like someone who's been forgotten? Or will you walk like someone who's been chosen? Will you speak like someone who's powerless? Or will you speak like someone who carries the authority of heaven in every word? Will you love like someone who's running out of time? Or will you love like someone whose greatest chapter is just beginning? Before you answer that question, before you step back into your life, I want to pray over you. And I'm not just saying words into a camera, I'm standing in the gap for you right now. So wherever you are, whatever time it is, I want you to close your eyes and receive this blessing like healing oil poured over your head. Heavenly Father, I come before your throne right now, lifting up every precious soul who has heard this message. Lord, you know their names, you know their struggles, you know the battles they've fought in silence and the dreams they've carried in secret. I pray that you would place your mighty hand upon them right now. Let them feel your presence like a warm embrace, reminding them that they are loved beyond measure, chosen beyond understanding, and called beyond their own ability. Father, open every door that man has closed. Heal every wound that time hasn't touched. Restore every dream that disappointment has stolen. Give them strength for the journey ahead, wisdom for the decisions they must make, and courage to step forward when you call them to move. Lord, I pray specifically for their love lives, their loneliness, their longing for connection. You said it's not good for man to be alone, and Father, you keep your promises. Bring that divine appointment closer. Orchestrate that heavenly introduction. Let what's been decreed in heaven manifest on earth. I pray for their families, their health, their finances, and their peace. Where there has been division, bring unity. Where there has been sickness, bring healing. Where there has been lack, bring provision. Where there has been anxiety, bring your perfect peace that surpasses all understanding. And God, I pray that every person listening right now would step boldly into their destiny, knowing that you go before them, you walk beside them, and you have already prepared the way. Let them wake up tomorrow, not as survivors, but as victors. Not as forgotten, but as chosen. Not as ordinary, but as anointed for such a time as this. In Jesus' mighty name, the name above every name, the name that makes demons tremble and heaven rejoice, I seal this prayer. Let your will be done in their lives. Amen. Now, beloved, before you close this video, I want you to do something powerful. In the comments below, share just one word that describes how you're feeling right now. Don't overthink it, just type the first word that comes to your heart. Let this community surround you with prayer and encouragement. Let us see that you're not just watching, you're declaring, you're believing, you're ready. And if this message has touched your soul, if you felt God speaking directly to you through these words, please share this video with someone else who needs to hear it. You might be the vessel God uses to awaken another chosen one who's been waiting for this exact message. Someone in your contacts list, someone on your timeline, someone you haven't thought about in years. They need to hear this tonight. Be obedient. Share it. If you have questions, concerns, or just need prayer, don't hesitate to reach out in the comments. This community is here for you, ready to lift you up and remind you that you're never alone in this journey. Thank you for spending this sacred time with me. Thank you for opening your heart, for listening with your spirit, and for saying yes to God's call on your life. Your faithfulness to watch until the very end tells me everything I need to know about your heart. You're ready for what God has prepared. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell. Every week, we're releasing messages specifically designed to encourage, equip, and empower God's chosen ones. You belong here. This is your spiritual family. Don't miss what heaven is saying next. Remember, chosen one, the signs are real, the confirmation is valid. The famous person heaven whispered your name to, they're closer than you think. Your divine appointment isn't coming someday, it's already in motion. Walk in the authority of your calling, rest in the certainty of His love, and know that your best days aren't behind you, they're just beginning. The mission still stands, and so do you. Until we meet again, may the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God who parts seas and moves mountains, the God who specializes in impossible love stories, may He keep you, bless you, and prepare you for the encounter that will change everything. You are seen, you are chosen, you are loved. Now, go live like you believe it.